there's just something about the Black Hawk. That deep, dumping rotor, the unmistakable silhouette. The feeling that you're flying a legend. Before we get into it though, I just want to answer a question a few viewers have asked about the Russian helicopters. Yeah, I do have all of them. The Mi-8, the Hind, the Ka-50. But honestly, I haven't been flying them much. Not because they are bad. They're just different. That whole Russian logic in avionics takes a bit of getting used to. But don't worry, I know how good those machines are, and I'll get to them eventually. That I can promise. Just be patient with me. Alright, let's get back to the Hawk now. As you know, DCS is packed with fast jets and attack helicopters. But now, a team of passionate community developers have brought the US Army's workhorse to life, and is here to shake things up. Today I'm taking a close look at the UH-60L Black Hawk Mod version 2. I'll look at its history, visuals, flight model, systems, the newly added DAP variant, and see if this free module is really worth your precious time. The Sikorsky UH-60 first flew back in 1974, entering service about 5 years later to replace the legendary Huey. Its design priorities were clear: survivability, reliability, and the ability to get a full squad into combat and bring them home. When I was in service, I actually got the chance to ride in one of these. And man, even after all these years, I still remember that sound. That deep, low-frequency thump, the vibration running through the frame, the smell of jet fuel. It was a short ride, but it stuck with me ever since. Anyway, that's my little personal story, and excuse me for sidetracking. Won't happen again, I promise. The UH-60L variant came along in the late 80s with upgraded T700 GE701C engines and composite rotor blades for better lift in hot and high conditions. It's a machine that's done it all. From Mogadishu to Iraq and Afghanistan, it's done troop transport, medvac, special ops, you name it. And now, thanks to the DCS community, it's been faithfully recreated, and it's completely free. Let's open up the hangar and take a look at what the UH-60L mod team has built. The external model looks fantastic. Now, some of this still needs to be verified, but to my eyes, the proportions look spot on. The rotor head is detailed, the landing gear geometry checks out, and those new E-SSS pylons for external tanks and weapons look just right. Even when you zoom in close, the fine details hold up. If you look at the rivets, vents, and textures, the quality is top-notch. Inside the cockpit is now almost fully clickable. I mean almost. All the main systems are interactive. Radios, AFCS, lighting, engine controls, and navigation. The switch layout matches the real aircraft closely, including the center console with ADF, FM, VHF, UHF, GPS, and Doppler navigation panels. The texture work is really well done too. From the matte olive drab army livery to the gray 160th SOAR Night Stalker scheme, and even a few medvac and custom skins, everything looks sharp. The cockpit has just the right amount of wear and tear. It feels used, but not old. As for the sound design, everything just feels right. The rotor, the turbine, the ambient hum inside the cockpit. They all blend together in a way that feels believable and immersive. You really get the sense of power and presence, especially when flying low or hovering close to the ground. Hey, if you're enjoying the video so far, take a second to hit the like and subscribe button. It only takes a moment, but it really helps the channel stay up and keeps the channel flying. So, how does it fly? Let's find out. Right away, you can feel the weight. This isn't some twitchy arcade helicopter. It moves with real mass and inertia. Every control input matters. You need smooth hands and a bit of patience. But once you get in sync with it, the Black Hawk feels incredibly stable and confident. Hovering takes work, but it's surprisingly manageable. In fact, I found it easier to keep steady than the Huey or the Lodge. Probably thanks to the flight stabilization systems doing their thing in the background. The automatic flight control system helps keep it stable without ever taking full control. Turn off the stabilizers and you'll instantly feel the difference. It becomes a lot more lively, even a little twitchy. The new flight path stabilization system in version 2 adds another layer of control. It holds your attitude and heading. And once you're above 60 knots, it even helps you coordinate turns. It's subtle, but it makes the helicopter feel smoother and more predictable, especially in forward flight. And just like the real thing, you will notice that sweet transition around 20 knots, when the airflow starts to bite and the aircraft suddenly feels lighter. Overall, the Black Hawk feels a proper utility helicopter, solid, stable, and powerful. It's not as light as the Huey, but not as heavy as a Chinook either. It sits right in that sweet middle ground, strong, dependable, and surprisingly graceful once you get to know it. This mod isn't just about flying, it's about what you can do with it. You can haul troops, cargo, or supplies using DCS's built-in logistics system, and it works surprisingly well. The seats in the back can be added or removed for different setups, though that's just for looks, it doesn't affect weight. Sling loading is also supported. Sure, DCS doesn't simulate sling weight yet, but hovering over a fort with a crate swinging underneath you, that still feels awesome. And now the real fun part, the door runners. The standard UH-60L mounts M60s or M3M50 cals, all AI controlled and surprisingly effective against soft targets. In the DAP variant, those get swapped for M134 miniguns, which you can either leave on AI control or lock forward for pilot use. You can even tweak their rules of engagement and power systems through the new gunner panels and keybinds. Speaking of the DAP, the Direct Action Penetrator, that's the big star of version 2. This thing is a flying arsenal. M230 chain guns, GAU-19s, M134s, FN HMP 500 pods, multiple rocket types, AGM-114K Hellfires, even AIM-92 Stingers for self-defense. Hellfires work through external laser designation, so you will need a JTAC, another aircraft, or a ground unit to paint the target. Rockets can fire in single, ripple, or pair modes, all managed through the armament management system on the console. And if that's not enough, yes, it even has an in-flight refueling probe. It's compatible with the KC-130J that comes with the mod, which flies slow enough for helicopter refueling. It's tricky to master, but when you pull it off, it's incredibly satisfying. All in all, the DAP version turns the Black Hawk from a utility transport into a fully capable gunship. Honestly, for a free mod, it's one of the most versatile helicopters you can fly in DCS. Period. Version 2 also brings major improvements to the navigation suite. The heart of it all is the Command Instrument System Panel, or CISP. It gives you full VOR, ILS, and GPS capability, just like the real aircraft. With VOR, you can track radios using the headings and course bugs. For ILS approaches, you will see localizer and glide slope cues right on the flight director, so you can hand fly accurate instrument landings. And for GPS navigation, the UH-60L uses the AN/ASN 128 Doppler and GPS system. which lets you fly between waypoints or go direct to a coordinate. You can even punch in waypoints manually using MGRS or latitude, longitude right from the cockpit keypad. Heading and altitude hold cues appear on the flight director to help you keep things smooth and stable. It's not on autopilot though, you're still flying the aircraft. The system just helps you stay ahead of it. Overall, the navigation suite in version 2 makes the Black Hawk feel more like a real professional aircraft. It's practical, reliable, and adds a layer of depth that makes long missions or IFR flights just more realistic and interesting. The fuel system on this mod is surprisingly detailed. Inside, the Black Hawk carries two 360-gallon sub-ceiling tanks. Outside, you can mount external tanks on the E-SSS pylons, 200, 230, or even 450 gallons each. All managed through the auxiliary fuel management system. Set it to automatic, and it'll transfer fuel to the main tanks whenever they drop below about 1,000 pounds. There's also the internal auxiliary system, or IAFTS, which feeds into the mains for extra range. All of it works seamlessly in-game, so you can plan and fly long endurance missions just like the real thing, whether you're hauling troops across a map or refueling mid-air in the DAP. Let's be fair, this is a community mod, not an official paid DCS module. Some systems are simplified or absent due to the usual limitations mod teams face. You won't find a working flare or terrain following radar, and Hellfire launch queues are more basic than what you'd see in full fidelity aircraft. There's also no dedicated AI co-pilot yet, and while most setups work fine, some users with force feedback hardware may need to tweak their settings for the best feel. Mission-wise, you'll get a few instant action scenarios, but no built-in campaigns or voice-acted missions. Totally understandable for a community project. Still, for a free module, what you're getting here is seriously impressive. So, what's my take on the UH-60L version 2? Honestly, it's an incredible piece of work. A true labor of love from the DCS community that pushes the limits of what a free mod can be. You get near study level systems, an authentic flight model, and a fully armed DAP variant that feels straight out of an official release. From the sounds and visuals to how it flies and fights, everything just comes together beautifully. Whether you are hauling troops, slinging crates, threading valleys under MBGs, or lining up on ILS approach in bad weather, this mod delivers the full Black Hawk experience. Is it perfect? No, but it nails what really matters: the feel, the immersion, and that unmistakable presence in the cockpit. If you love helicopters, this one is an absolute must-have. It's a shining example of what happens when passion meets skill in the DCS community. So there you have it, my take on the community UH-60L Black Hawk version 2. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like, subscribe for more, and share your thoughts below. Until next time, fly safe, and I'll see you in the skies.